All right, hello again, friends. Apologies for the connection issues. I really don't know what's going on there, and it's highly frustrating because I think I'm talking to you all, and I'm just not. All right, let me zoom out a little bit more here. There we go. Okay, so let me go back through a couple things I was trying to show you earlier. There is a bundle in the mini catalog that I'm going to be focusing on for a couple projects tonight. Translucent Florals. You can find it on page 56 of that catalog. Stamps and dies that will cut, the dies will cut out these shapes that you see here, as well as some bonus dies that you can use to build solid flowers. Really kind of cool. And then another online exclusive product that just came out, the Heartfelt Hexagon Bundle. So this particular shape will punch out those two hexagons, and then all of those little phrases will fit inside of those as well. Excuse me. So you can see there's good for a couple variety of occasions. Sympathy, the let's eat cake you can do for birthday. Hope your day is filled with joy. You have Mr. and Mrs., so those are kind of wedding things with love and hugs. All kinds of different ideas for you guys to take those and run with them for card making options. Alrighty, so then also in the online exclusives, they've released a few different kinds of DSP. One of them coordinates with this stamp set that I'm using tonight called the Translucent Floral Bundle. It's called Delightful Floral DSP, and I've already used a bunch of it. So I have just a few snippets of some pieces. Let me see where my other piece went here. There we go. Okay, so here's one piece. And then the other sides of these have kind of a watercolor wash. So the colors are Bubble Bath, Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, Lost Lagoon, or no, Lemon Lime Twist, Pretty Peacock. This one's really neat with all the different leaves on it. Let's see if I missed any of the colors. I'll look at the back of the catalog again there and let you know. Maybe Lemon Lolly. I think Lemon Lolly might be in here. As I saw those little tiny yellow flowers on that one page. So let me look. Yeah. So Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, that's the darker of those. Calypso Coral, Fresh Freesia, that's another of the purple shades. Lemon Lolly, Parakeet Party. Oh, so it wasn't Lemon Lime Twist. Parakeet Party, my apologies. Pool Party and Pretty Peacock. So great variety of color within those to create a bunch of really pretty projects. And I think personally that coordinates nicely with the glimmer paper that we have in our annual catalog. Now you get all of these colors together. It's a 12 by 12 sheet of each. So there is Pretty Peacock, Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, Berry Burst, and Bubble Bath. And you can see they're really glimmery and sparkly. They're nice and thin, so they are easy to die cut or punch through. You get one sheet of each in that particular pack, and they're each 12 by 12. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and get started with the layouts for tonight. I'd already put one together when I didn't know I wasn't on camera. So some of my pieces already have adhesive on them, which is why they are attached to my silicone mat. There we go. So that I don't have to get rid of the adhesives on them. Okay, so for tonight, you need a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11, and we score that at 5 1/2. I am going to be using Berry Burst. Another piece that is 1 1/8 by 2 3/8. I have a piece of Pretty Peacock that is behind my neutral piece of 1 by 2 1/4 with my phrase on it. So that's what that particular part is. Then you need a neutral piece that's 2 1/2 by 4. And then you want images to stamp or die cuts, punched shapes, punched images, whatever you're doing. We're going to fill in most of this particular piece right here. I used one of the pieces of the designer series paper from Delightful Floral, and I fussy cut out one of these big flower sections, and that is what I'm going to be using on my neutral piece. And then a piece of DSP that's 4 by 4. And again, this comes from that floral pack, and that's the other side of that one. It's just I'm using the Berry Burst watercolory kind of side of it. All right. So go ahead and burnish your base of your cardstock. So you've got a 4 1/4 by 11 card that opens like so. Then you're going to take that piece of designer series paper, and you can decide, I'll hold it this way for a second. You can decide if you want it near the bottom, kind of in the middle, or near the top. That's totally up to you. I would aim middle or low because our phrase is actually going to go a little bit above this. So then you can still see most of it there. So I'm going to put that one flush kind of to the bottom. Go ahead and stamp your neutral piece with whatever it is that you're using. So you're gonna cover that with your images or glue on your die cuts or whatever you're gonna do before we put that onto here. And you're gonna leave just a little bit of a border at the bottom, like so, okay? Then take those, if you have any die cuts or whatever you're doing, add them in. If you have your stamped images, of course, they are already on here. I'm gonna go ahead and replace my floral image that I had die cut. And I'm gonna put that right about there, okay? Then I'm gonna take my phrase, happy birthday, and I'm gonna line it flush with the right side, and then it's going to overlap the white just a tiny bit. Okay, so there you go. That is tonight's layout. I saw this on the Casing the Catalog page, Facebook page, and let me show you where they got their inspiration from. It's actually near the back of the catalog. I'm so glad I can show you the backs of the catalogs now. It's really nice. Or the insides of the catalogs, I should say. Where is Berry Christmas bundle? There we go. It's this one right here. So that's where the basic layout came from. So you can see theirs is a little bit aimed at the top, but again, you leave room for all that stuff together there. And it's really kind of a neat little way to show off some DSP in the background, and then focus on some imagery. All right, let me show you some other samples. This one also uses the translucent florals. I did change the color scheme. Obviously, this is the Fresh Freesia and the Bubble Bath. I'm using the little tiny printed flowers here. These ones, this I stamped, these I stamped in die cut. And I have a different phrase, of course, up there that I also added some little flowers behind. This one here is the A Walk in a Forest Designer Series paper. That's the one that we're using as our fundraising element this year, or for this catalog, I should say. So a portion of sales of that will go to Toys for Tots to buy the gifts for Christmas that they always do. So that'll be really kind of a neat way to go. And I kind of love that they did a fundraiser with a DSP, because that hasn't been done before, and I think it's a little more universally popular than maybe a stamp set might be or something like that. So I'm really excited about that one there. Then this is the Merriest Trees that I stamped on top, and I fussy cut him out of one of the pieces of Designer Series paper. And I also, just for a little bit of difference, I don't know if you can see it on camera as well as when I take the photograph later, but I ran that DSP through the hash mark kind of embossing folder that comes with the 3-pack of online exclusives. And I thought I had it here. Here it is. So it's this one here. And I did that all over the background one there. So it has a little bit of texture in the DSP, very subtle, but I just thought it was kind of a fun technique to try. Alrighty, let's move these guys out a little bit. This one here uses Winter Meadow. That is in the mini catalog as well. I did stamp some imagery in Garden Green and Night of Navy on here, and also used Misty Moonlight. And then the phrase comes from there as well. And I did die cut a few pieces out of the Garden Green, and I used the pearls that are in the mini catalog as well on that one. So that was kind of a fun layout there. This one uses that hexagon bundle I was telling you about, so I have a totally different look for my phrasing up there, as you can see. Designed this more of a wedding card. This DSP is from the annual catalog. It's in that big bundle, the one that comes with the pretzels and the duckies and that different one there. And then this, of course, is in the Heartfelt Hexagon stamp set. And then the frame and the Mr. and Mrs. come from there as well. Punched those out, and I used some of that Bubble Bath glimmer paper behind that layer there. I just cut a tiny strip because it's silly to waste all of that behind there. So there's just a tiny strip cut that I can put on top and bottom, so I can save more of that for other fun projects. Okay, here is my stepped up version. So the differences will be, basically I added glimmer paper behind. This is the Pretty Peacock glimmer paper. I used dimensionals on both layers, so the base layers popped up as well as my phrase. And I added the pearls to the flowers and to my phrasing as well. So there you go. Again, apologies for whatever these technology issues are. I really need to figure out how to get those, well, figured out, for lack of a better term, because it's so frustrating for me, and I'm sure it's frustrating for you as well, because you think you're finding me and I'm not there. So, all right, everybody, that's it for now. I'm gonna go take these photos, prop my foot up, take these photos, and go ahead and upload all the information that you need. So thanks for being patient with me, and hopefully I will have this all figured out to be live officially next week. Take care, everyone.